Wow, thank you very much. And I too would like to start by acknowledging the wonderful Aboriginal land in which we find ourselves today and pay my respects to elders past and present, and recognise all the wonderful Aboriginal colleagues that join us today and the wonderful wisdom that our colleagues impart to us each day we get to spend with them. And as we always like to say, may the children of today lead us to a brighter tomorrow. It's exciting that we're here, and I really want to acknowledge Susan and Kate and Jenny, and thank you for that very, very warm welcome. And I'm always amazed at how MPs are able to sort of just get to the heart of the issue, make everybody laugh, and wear the best clothes as well. So I really want to thank you all and all the other MPs and senators that have made up this wonderful group. I also want, of course, to acknowledge all my national group members, because I've been saying for the last few weeks, you know, there's no I in team, only in win, and we've both got that. We've got a team, and we've got to win by being here today. Jamie, of course, who you'll hear from a bit later, the board from Families Australia, and of course all the guests that have travelled from across Australia to Canberra to be in the nation's capital to bring this issue of the foster care shortage, and more importantly, the impact that it has on children and young people. I do want to acknowledge and thank Jesse, who we're going to hear from. He's an amazing young man, and of course his mum, Anne, too, who's joined him. And we're going to hear from Lorraine Joy from Adelaide very shortly, and I'll get to introduce her. And that's the reason I'm here today, and all those groups that Kate mentioned there, that's where we're really united, because we've all worked in this space a long time. And sometimes, you know, it's a bit like you're like a hamster on the wheel, and you can't kind of move forward. And over the last sort of 5 years in particular, we have seen a steadying in the number of children that are placed into out-of-home care. There's about 45,000. Doesn't seem like a large number when you think of the population of Australia, but that's 45,000 lives that get impacted by where they're placed in the care system. Our First Nations children are completely overrepresented. They make up mainly half of that group. And as in the opening remarks we heard, we always want, if children are removed, to remain with their family. Early intervention is the utmost thing we advocate for, and to remain with kin. But if that can't be achieved, we still want to have a home-based environment. You'd all remember back to your childhoods, you want to grow up with family. And if you can't grow up with family, then what we have to offer is more akin to a non-family based environment, and it's just not normal like your peers that you grow up with each and every day. So it's really important to us that we have a thriving foster care system to be able to fill that gap. Otherwise we end up putting pressure into the residential care system. But today we have just over 8,000 foster care homes out of that 45,000 available. So nowhere near enough. And there is, in fact, dire consequences in the decline of foster care, because it ultimately means pressure going into a very expensive system, and that cost is in the states. It's not federally, but where federally it gets picked up is later in life, because children end up having much poorer outcomes. They don't thrive like their peers do, and the federal government has such an influential and important role to show leadership to help prevent that occurring. So the trends are really not good for us in this space when we've lost so many carers. And whilst we know, as I said, child protection is a state business, the role that this parliamentary friendship group can play will be pivotal in us changing the tide on that. So when we did form this group, we knew that we could have national reach, and it's really exciting that we've come up with 3 solutions that Jamie's going to share, that we really do hope that we can work with the Parliamentary Friends Group to sort of establish across the federal government.